Welcome to Global Insiders Podcast. I am Ryan, the peripatetic one, bringing you information about opportunities relating to jobs, traveling, and any information that can elevate you to your rightful place in this thing called life. You can find more information and how-to methods on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is insiders with an S. And here is today's show.
Hello insiders, hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to go deep and we're going to go virtual, as the topics for today are out of control algorithms, deep fake detector, and virtual reality jobs in 2020. So get ready to learn and to pick up some great information about the current world that we live in. Okay, insiders. So unless you have been under a rock, you should know that algorithms are wrecking basically everything, or they are wreaking havoc on everything. The way how we live is basically somewhat under threat. Algorithms are replacing humans at a fast rate, but the thing is often flawed. Yes, it's often flawed. You may believe that if it doesn't affect you, but Mashable.com has listed some ways how it does, and here they are. If you can eat out during the pandemic, that is being determined by FEMA, which stands for U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency. And they're using algorithms to determine which businesses should be allowed to reopen. As I always say, most of the information we have is US-centric, not because we want you to go to the United States or we want to move to the United States, but as we speak, the United States is still the leading power, and usually they have the better technology and the more futuristic technology. I know some countries might argue that, but yes, as we speak, they're still the richest country in the world. Yeah. Getting into colleges also, and I mean, 2 weeks ago, I spoke about the hullabaloo in Britain regarding A-levels and the mistakes that the algorithms made. So students and university aspirants will have to get used to it though, because algorithms are being used to give students scores, and they also try to predict if students will enroll if admitted. So yes, you might want to go to the school, but they're going to check to see if you have the money, and I'm sure they're going to do it based on background and so forth. I'll speak more about this a little later regarding personal data and biometric. Number 3, renting apartments. I mean, housing overall is going to be affected by this thing. So now we're talking about here they can determine how much rent you pay, and if you can get a lease. So they are also used to create profiles of tenant and or candidates to be tenants, and the landlords use it to decide which applicants to choose. But just like with the grades in England, a New York Times investigation saw that the system is very flawed, to say the least. Crazy enough, they are used to decide mortgages too, and of course they have been found to be flawed. I mean, it's just, well, for us it's common sense, but that's a world that doesn't believe much in common sense. They more believe in science. Of course, I believe in science too, but common sense and the human factor is something that we always need to keep as human beings. Something may seem a particular way, but it is far from the truth. So, yes, taking away the human factor will always result in mistakes being made. Yes, we make mistakes as human beings too, but at least when we really are trying to help and trying to get things done, we usually use our heart, and a caring factor comes in. If decisions are made coldly just on facts, a lot of things that exist in the world now wouldn't. And I am sure the same is going to be true moving forward. The one that scares me regarding algorithms is insurance. And they use personal data to see how much of a risk you are. And of course, the more riskier you seem, the higher you will pay. So, for example, someone might eat way more calories than they should, but they are not overweight and they are definitely not obese. But because of the personal data that people are getting, they may decide that this person is at risk for heart attacks and so forth. And of course, the more you are at risk for something, it's the more likely your bills will be higher. Well, your insurance bill will be higher. So it's things like those that I am looking into and thinking that, okay, this thing might be a really bad idea. If you're looking for a job, guess what? Your gender, name, ethnicity, and age are the things that will be more important than anything else. Forget about an eagle-eyed recruiter looking at your resume. The algorithm will be perusing your application first. This again, if someone is really good at their job of choosing workers for organizations, there are things that they would have learned over the years and picked up over the years that would give them that eagle eye to see the diamonds in the rough. And yes, we may argue and say algorithms might just do the job even better, but I still think that human factor where you're having that relationship with a human being and human eyes and emotions are at work, I think it beats any mathematical equation any day. So when you're applying for your next job, don't be surprised if you're thrown out because you didn't meet the X and the Y's. Your work schedule and these days is probably being done by an algorithm too. So it's already in the workplace. Dangerously, they are being used to determine and to decide if you are going to commit a crime. This reminds me of the movie Minority Report. Scary stuff indeed, people. Scary stuff indeed. So, remember, I didn't say if you committed a crime, no. If you are going to commit a crime. So, yes, it is all happening right now. And then, if you are looking for love, guess what? You're a part of it. An algorithm is going to determine that too. Dating apps use preview, and so even though you are swiping left and right, they already have boxed you in. Do you feel like cursing? I certainly do. In the business and political world, there is little we can do to stop this tsunami. But if you really want a solution, I say get closer with your loved ones and learn skills to help you offline. For example, gardening and so forth, because these things are directly attached to life and it's not being boxed in or being put in any type of situation where you have to wonder. You're not boxed in. That's the main thing. You're not boxed in. And if you're not boxed in, it means that you have latitude to express yourself. And that is what true freedom is. Being able to express yourself when and how you feel like. Okay, moving on. So last time we spoke about deepfakes. So that was last week. And I'm happy to report this week that Microsoft is trying to fix the problem. They have created a tool called Video Authenticator. This tool will analyze photos and videos. They have even gone further to say that they are working on a system that will enable content producers to add digital hashes and certificates to media that remain their metadata. As the content travels online, therefore, the origin will be known. If they follow through, this will be major because, as I said last week, they are using it to create porn of persons who have no interest in doing porn. And right now they're attacking the celebrities, but it's just a matter of time before someone who doesn't like you will be able to create such material using your image. So it's really a dangerous place to be. So it's good that Microsoft is getting this thing done. So if someone actually goes through and do something as malicious as that, you can get some sort of reprieve because you will definitely know where it was created, or at least have an idea of where it was created. So this is good stuff. Microsoft is really stepping up the game, and as I said last week, when we showed how Microsoft made their money, they are a very healthy company because they are spread wide, and they're trying to be innovative. They seem to be the grandpa on the block regarding new technologies and so forth. But Microsoft, they are holding their own, and they seem to be trying to be as innovative as possible. So kudos to them once again. Last week I gave them kudos, and this week we are giving them kudos again. So Microsoft is trying to stay in the game. Now, virtual reality is like the cousin who has the potential to be a professional athlete, but they keep on refusing to play ball. This is said because it's been a while now that we're hearing that virtual reality is going to be the new big thing. It's going to be the biggest thing. And I actually believed it. I actually believed this maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I still think the problem with virtual reality is that the players in the market are not looking for the customers. They're trying to make it this big thing. For example, they're trying to make it like the internet. You know, the internet, you don't have to market internet. The internet is now a part of life. It's almost like the air we breathe. You want it. So you just log on and you get on and you use it. So it's similar with VR, with virtual reality. They're thinking that it's that big that people are going to run to it. But even the internet started in a niche. Usually, I think on colleges and, it started in the army, really, US Army. But colleges really were the ones that started the movement. And it's the same thing. Like, virtual reality needs a movement. Yes, once again, porn has been a part of the growth in the technology. But porn, as much as it has become ubiquitous, it is not going to be mainstream for obvious reasons. I mean, if the kids can't enjoy it, it doesn't make sense. It's just not going to be that popular. But what will happen though is, if they can target a market, I have this idea, and if you see someone do it, you can say, well, it was said on Global Insiders first. I think these companies should try to create massive experience, such as traveling to space. I mean, give the ordinary male or female the opportunity to travel to space virtually. Give us the opportunity to drive an expensive car that we can't own. That is what the virtual reality space should be looking for. They should be looking to give a particular group of people extreme experiences. Dining in a fancy restaurant, that type of thing. That is where virtual reality should really head. And now is a wonderful time to do it, because we're talking about people can't go out. So we should be getting that restaurant experience virtually. Yes, we won't eat the food and okay. So as I'm talking, I'm packaging a nice product. So just imagine you have let's call this restaurant Royal Restaurant, right? Royal Restaurant, because of coronavirus, they have to close, but they have certain dishes. What Royal Restaurant could do is they have this virtual reality program where you can go in and you sit down and you just imagine yourself having a fancy dining. So how can they make money from this? Well, what Royal Dining can do is actually do some packaged food. So you'll get the food packaged, and maybe eat it before your virtual reality session or after your virtual reality session, and you sit down and enjoy the experience as if you're right there. Now, that's just the beginning, but that's what these companies should be thinking about. They should be thinking about niching the virtual reality experience. I definitely want to drive expensive cars or travel to space virtually, because I know that I'm not going to do it in real life, not because I'm not going to have the money or anything like that, but I just don't have the interest to do those type of things in real life. So the good thing about this, though, is that it's a growing field and we can all get into it if we dedicate to ourselves. So now I want to tell you about some of the jobs that are being touted in 2020 for the virtual reality space. So the first one is Unity developer. These persons are responsible for developing the foundation of the VR game and the application. They should have knowledge of programming, and the average salary is $82,879. And this information can be found on piledesk.com. Number 2, UX designer, experience, and UX/UI designer, experience and interface ease. This is what these persons deal with, and the things that make the online world work is what these people deal with. Because if the experience is not good, it's a no-go. They should have skills in storyboard creation and user flow prototype models. And average salary is $74,000. Next, VR game engineer. A VR game engineer designs projects and 3D creations. They usually have fundamental skills like mathematics, programming skills, and vast knowledge of specific other skills. So whatever the area you want to develop, you should have some sort of skills, some sort of engineering skills in that area. And you know what? They are well paid because they make over $100,000 a year. Next, you have the VR sound effects specialist. They connect all audio files to the visuals. Skills needed: must be proficient in music processing, Unity, and this is what Unreal Engine development. So sounds fancy, but the salary is $40,000 a year. Next, mixed reality artists. They are used to a large amount of digital technology to remake and reshape human to computer communication. They are accountable for almost all features of 3D design in virtual reality. You will definitely need a background in computer graphics for this one, and the salary is $20,000. Well, not 20,000. $20 per hour, over $20 per hour. So yeah, not bad. Next we have film and television content. Now, this person will have to set suitable strategies for all kinds of entertainment media. To do this job, you will need relevant experience in a related field of content management and some knowledge of production for VR. The good thing about this job is that you are not, you don't have to know too much programming. So just about any one of us can get in there as long as we have the relevant experience regarding film and television content. Salary is $17 per hour. And last, technical 3D artist. This person will be directly and indirectly involved in the project, from conceptualization to design. They will also need to define the complex parts of it. You will need to have a wide knowledge of development platforms and systems. Of course, your artistic skills must be good and you must have great artistic sense. And the salary is $52,000 a year. So there you have it. I mean, there are jobs here and there for all of us in the new economy. It's just that we have to dedicate ourselves to changing our mindset and getting involved. And on that note, Monster.com has 14,721 cybersecurity jobs. Thank you for tuning in. And next week we will be looking at the social media space. So get ready for that, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you are inspired. You can find more helpful and motivational material at globalinsidersgroup.com. That is, insiders with an S. You can also keep in touch at Global Insiders on Instagram. See you next time, but remember, you can be your own superhero. Bye.